This right here is the Growatt Vita 550. It is a small solar generator that really is perfect for camping, travel, charging things up in emergencies. Primarily because it is so small and light a unit while still providing a substantial amount of power. And today I want to go over what is this, like what do we have here, what can you use it for, all of those things. It's a beautiful day. Let's use some clean energy, the sun, and cook some food for lunch. Solar panels. So to start off with, we have a 538 watt-hour battery, LiPo4 battery, and a 660 watt inverter. So in other words, 660 watts is how much we can draw at one time, right? Whereas the 538 watt-hour is how much power we have to work with, like how much we can be able to use before having to charge it back up again. In terms of weight, 17.8 pounds or 8.16 kilos. And the size here is 12.12 times 8.4 times 7.8 inches. A couple of nice features, 240 watt capacity of solar input. That's a pretty good amount. So if you have optimal sun and a solar panel that can funnel that amount of power in, you will be able to charge this unit up in 2.5 hours. Let's see what kind of solar we're getting. 49.55 watts. Nice spot for camp, I think. It has two charge options for AC charging, a quick one, and that will take about 1.6 hours, and a slow one that will take about 3.5 hours. Now, the package here comes with 3 wires, one for AC charging, one for solar charging, and one for car charging. In terms of the unit here, we can, power things using either AC power or DC power or both. Now, I did a different Growatt review a while back where I was looking over their larger unit, their Infinity 1500. And that one had features similar to this one, similar screen, like a lot of the stuff was the same, however it was a larger unit. So this is obviously, the battery is smaller, the inverter is smaller, but the overall feel is very similar, a lot of the features are the same. This one, the Vita 550, I think is a better choice if you're looking for something very portable, something practical to take along with you, where you are more concerned with weight and size, and you don't want to be lugging something, too large around. Let's cook some lunch using the sun. Let me show you our camp. We have power, we have a cooker, and we have solar. This is a 200 watt panel. It's like slightly shaded by trees. So it's not 100% sun, but it's relatively sunny. We got biscuit and soup in the works. Gonna make a scone.
You know what?
The cooker using 322 watt, bringing in 26 watt from solar. A little hard to see the screen, but we have 87%, 30 watts coming in, using 317. It tells me that we can do this for 1.3 hours at this rate. I love cooking clean like this. Like a fire is always really nice, but I can have a kid, dog running around, it's safe. There's no weird smokes, nothing like that. And this is a perfect size for this activity, to cook this. We don't need any larger power bank or anything like that. I think we're pretty good now. We are down to 66%, 44 watts coming in, still using about 300 watts the cooker. Let's shut this off. Okay, biscuit, soup's looking good. Of course, biscuit, this is cooked for like 25 minutes. It's just very pale because the method of cooking is more like steaming than baking. Mushroom, green beans, and kale soup. It's just nice with something warm, sit outside. So to cook this, I started at like 88%. Cooked this for 25 minutes. Now I'm down to 66%. Meanwhile, I've had solar funneling in around 50 watts. So of course I'm gonna hang out here and get some more solar coming in, and eventually we would be back up to 100. It would take a little while, and that's assuming that the sun stays the same. This unit has Bluetooth and wireless. There is an app that is called MyGrow that is definitely an important part because it enables you to control things within the app. Now at this point I have tried my fair share of solar generators, and lately there are a couple of cool new features that have popped up that I think definitely make especially the smaller ones more useful, and one of those is a power overriding mode, or they call it Watt Plus here. So what is that? Well, it basically enables you to use more powerful appliances than you otherwise would. So okay, remember this one has 660 watts in terms of the inverter, right? That means you can, you know, plug things in that would draw 660 watts. But what if you wanted to boil some water? Most kettles, electric kettles, use what, 1,000 to 1,500 watts. Normally you would not be able to use this, or a heater for example, because they just draw too much power. But you can basically activate this Watt Plus mode through the app, and that way you'll be able to utilize a higher draw appliance. It's not going to draw more than 600 wattish, you know, 629, 636, 650. Thereabout. It's not going to just shut down and say, you know, that it was too much power. It's going to be able to actually work. Maybe take a little bit longer. But it opens up like a whole world of things that you can use these things for, which otherwise you wouldn't be able to. Which is quite handy in some situations. Okay, a couple of features which I find appealing. So first of all, the power brick is inside. So there's not a heavy power brick when you plug in the unit. So charging it up, and there is a button right here called Fast Charge On Off. So if you want to speed up the charging, you can click the button. Okay, go ahead, click the button. So it went from 270 to 495, 497, so it's bringing in a lot more juice to charge it up faster. It's lit green right now, charging faster. There is a built-in fan, but the fan doesn't come on automatically all the time. Some solar generators that I've tried have like a fan that automatically come on when you plug it in, for example, and it stays on, and it can be quite loud. Whereas this one will come on, you know, periodically, but it's not going to go on all the time. It's not super loud. It's something you don't think about beforehand, but a really nice feature. Another thing I've noticed that I like is that the unit shuts off on its own when you don't use. This is a nice feature because many other solar generators that I've tried, if you accidentally leave them on, and I have done this several times, you might not realize it, and then it continues to draw, like the inverter is using power. And then when it becomes time to actually use it, you have no more power because the power has been all drawn out. Not the case with this one because it shuts off. So I got a 200 watt hour solar panel, like a portable panel. Here, let's connect it and see if we can get anything at all. I mean, there is some ambient light, even though it's not exactly sunny. Just plug it right in there. Okay, we're getting a whole 17 watts coming in. Another thing I like is how precise the display is. Sometimes the display on these are more general, like you can kind of see like the level of the battery in a general way to give you a sense of how much battery you have left or how much you're bringing in. But here it will show you the exact percentage, and it will also give you an estimation of how long you'll be able to continue whatever it is you're doing. So we're at 88%, and it tells me that at this level it will take 3.5 hours for it to go up to 100. Of course, 17 watts is pretty much nothing. So you have a laptop, and you want to charge up the laptop using DC power, that's correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you do it?
Okay, turn it on.
This is a netbook, and you are currently drawing 2930 watts. You're charging up your computer using the DC setting. It's drawing 27 watts.
Firefox is my best app.
So we got a little adapter here, so we can connect this to the DC side and charge it up. So obviously here, you could plug this computer in using the regular AC side. However, it is more efficient using the DC side because you're not going through the inverter. So that is a nice way to charge up your laptop. The Growatt Vita 550, that's what it's called. Nice, useful, good-sized battery, I would say. If you compare it to a lot of other models on the market in the same kind of size range, this has a large battery. Cook this for 25 minutes. Now I'm down to 66%. If I started at 100, I should be able to like cook this 3 times. No, 4 times. something like that. I'm gonna call this like modern wilderness cooking. And that's really one of my favorite things about a unit like this, is that you can use it for things like that. Sure, it's not ultra portable, like if you're going backpacking or something, it's not super light. But if you are parking a car, you're walking a little distance, you can bring some stuff, or even just like outside of your house. It's really nice and it's really safe. And of course you could also do something else now. Like for example, what if we wanted some tea or coffee now? Well, that's a possibility, right? So if you're looking to pick something like this up, Growatt has a sale right now. I'll put all the information in the link below, but pretty much it is $100 off right now. And if you use the code GROWVITA550, you'll get an additional $30 off. So it brings the price down quite a bit. So make sure to check that out in the description below. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, put them in the comments below as always. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.